right, everybody, it's time for us to go ahead now and give you the update on downtown construction. Joining us right now on the desk is one of our reporters, Jenna Delgado, to kind of talk a little bit more about the crane being disassembled today. And I know you can see it from behind her. I put up that view specifically so we could talk about it. Hi, Jenna.
Hello. So the crane was actually deassembled this past weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And the first day, you know, when you're walking down on the street, you might see the arm like this, and it's 272 feet long. And on Sunday, then it was taken down in 14 sections, and it took 17 different trucks to take all of those pieces out for transport. So it is very interesting when you think about it. I took a deep dive today on the history, and you know, you never really think about it when you're just walking past a construction site at all, you know?
Yeah.
100%.
Well, that construction process, I know it's been a lot for folks to kind of see it move along as it has. The courthouse, for one. I remember when we talked about the dome going up, and we've also talked about the pillars being put up, and there has been so much work being put into this downtown area that we're like, okay, what's the next chapter? What's the next chapter? So let's go ahead and find out. Who did you get the chance to speak to today, Jenna?
I spoke with Steven with Horror Construction. He's the project manager, executive, and he said that they're in the home stretch of construction, and now that this big tower is gone, now that it's gone, they are in the home stretch, and they now feel that they're almost done, and that construction is set to be done in December.
Okay.
So we'll see, and it's really exciting stuff.
All right, let's go ahead and take a listen.
So this crane that was originally already there, but now it's gone.
Yes.
How tall is it?
So the crane was about 275 feet tall. It was a tower crane that assisted us with construction of our structure, as well as a lot of our higher, heavier elements that are on the building for decoration, pretty much.
So in our previous reports, I saw that this crane was going to be a part of the building. Is that correct? Or
No,
incorrect?
not correct. Yeah, it was positioned outside of the building intentionally so that we could continue construction and take it down at the very end, keep that crane for our use as long as possible.
And in our previous reports, I also saw that you said this would be the second largest crane in the country. Is that true?
No, you got a couple of different crane episodes here on the job mixed up at this point. So the previous crane that we had here was a mobile crane that assisted us with lifting the dome up to its resting point on top of the building. So that crane was the second largest mobile crane in the U.S.
Okay, so that crane.
Yes.
No. Okay, so
the crane that was here was permanently mounted to a giant footing out here that was outside the perimeter of the building, and it helped us with the construction of the structure of the building.
And when was that taken out?
This weekend. So it came out Saturday and Sunday. We started mobilization on Friday. We began our demobilization of that crane on Saturday morning, and the final pieces of it left town yesterday at about 4 o'clock.
And how long did that take to get it deconstructed?
2 days. So they started on Saturday morning at around 7:30 in the morning, and they were finished yesterday by 4 p.m.
So can you explain, I also saw in our previous reports that another crane was used to put together this crane?
Yes, so anytime you have a project that requires a tower crane, which is a crane that's permanently affixed to a base, you have to bring in a mobile crane in order to build that tower crane. So actually we had 3 different cranes here on site this weekend. The crane that's required to take down the tower crane is too large to bring here basically in one transport. So we have to have a smaller crane on site that actually builds the crane that we call the assist crane, which actually takes down the tower crane.
Awesome. So how tall is this courthouse?
The courthouse is roughly 211 feet to the peak up there, to the lightning rod and the FAA light that you see on top of the building.
Speaking of lightning, I know that this crane got struck by lightning a couple of months back, and maybe it was last year.
It was last year, yes.
And talk a little bit about that and how.
I mean, if for those of us that are in the business, when you have a tower crane in the air, especially in a wide open environment like this, it's more likely than not that crane has a good possibility to get struck by lightning. Ours, unfortunately, did get struck by lightning. It was May of 2025 when it was struck. We did incur some damage to our electronics and things, but our team was very diligent and worked quickly to get those components here, worked through the night to try to get them repaired, and our crane was only down for about a day and a half or 2 days.
Awesome. So, now this crane is gone. What's the next step for the courthouse?
Yeah, so the symbolic moment for us as a milestone, bringing down a tower crane, means that your structure is fully complete and that most of your heavy lifting activities are done for the project. So in the construction business, that generally tells us that we're getting very close to being complete with our project. So the fact that we positioned our crane outside of the building versus inside the footprint of the building allowed us to keep it longer than one normally might. However, we have some large, heavy decorative elements on this courthouse that we needed that crane for, and most of that work is complete at this point. We have a smaller crane behind us right now that's helping complete those activities on this final north elevation. But what it means for us is that we're in the home stretch. We're probably 4 months away from being finished with this project. Our contract completion date is December 27th. And we're looking forward to a great last 4 months on the job.
Awesome. Do you have anything else that I didn't ask you or didn't include?
I just want to say that we're proud of all the trade partners and the community for the effort that's been put behind this project. Our team here has worked really hard to keep our head down and stay at work through rainy days and through hot days. As you know, the weather's been brutal for the last 2 weeks. I really want to give some appreciation to our trade partners and especially the crew that came in to disassemble this crane this weekend. Those guys worked very hard for 2 long days and in some very extreme weather. So we're proud to have folks that are dedicated to our job, not only that are resident here in Tyler, but our trades that come in and help us complete activities from other areas of the country.
That's wonderful. Were you able to hear from some of those workers that deconstructed the crane, and did they have anything to say about it?
We so it's a requirement of our company that we have a safety manager on site full time while those activities are being done. So we had probably 5 of our HOR employee team members here on site with them all day, all weekend, to make sure that they were working safely and also that they were hydrated and that they were being safe themselves working out in this extreme heat. A lot of times it's easy for us that work inside or in an office to just say, oh, those guys are used to it, but it's very taxing, and it's very taxing on individuals that climbed a 275-foot tall crane and literally were hanging off of it safely, of course, with harnesses on, but they're climbing around all over that crane and they're beating out very large diameter pins that hold each of those sections together. And they did that all the way down. 14 sections of tower that they dismantled, and all of that was very, very hard, intensive manual labor. So we're fortunate that we kept them all hydrated well. They all were safe. They came down, and we were able to get the crane out and continue our plans as we expected to be able to do this morning when we started back up to work.
So I'm not sure if you have the number off the top of your head, but you said there's 14 sections of deconstructing this crane.
Yes.
Approximately how long do you think it would take per section to deconstruct it?
It depends. Some of those sections were doubles. So basically what I can tell you is that the jib of the crane, which is the arm of the crane that most folks saw for the last year and a half, extending out over the courthouse and over the block, we dismantled that portion of the crane on Saturday, so 272 feet long from the tower out to the farthest reach capacity that it had. We dismantled that on Saturday, and then on Sunday we worked all day to dismantle those 14 tower sections. So they started at roughly 6:30 a.m. in the morning on Sunday and finished yesterday about 4 o'clock. So both of them were very strategically planned all-day activities for those 2 important sections of our crane.
Last question, about how many people did you have working to deconstruct?
Yeah, gosh, I would say probably 25 in total. So we had 4 different crane operators. We had 4 members of the dismantle crew that were on the ground receiving pieces as they were lowered by the assist crane and loading them onto trucks. We had 17 different semis that it took come in here, flatbed trailers that it required to actually load those sections and get them out. That included counterweights and all the different sections of the crane as we took it apart. So easily probably 30 people on site for the entirety of the weekend from Friday to yesterday evening around 6 o'clock.
All right, everybody, and that's the latest update there on downtown construction. We will keep you updated as we find out more there as we go.